Hey friends, it's Liz from Olive Branch Studios, from the land of the craziest weather on the planet. 90 today, and in the morning it's supposed to be 32. I don't even know anymore. Weather warp. Anyway, today I wanted to get on here and paint a little bit with you guys. I want to do kind of a ocean scene, which, I love the ocean, with a little bit of a sunset, so blending those colors together, and maybe a few cliffs, so throw some rocks in there. Anyway, I thought this would be something different, kind of fun, using those brush strokes and different techniques that we have learned along the way. I hope you guys give this a try. And if you like what we're doing over here, please hit that subscribe button and like what we're doing. That goes a long way. All right, here we go. Alrighty, so I want to get started. I'm using a Princeton Neptune size 10 brush. These are great because they hold a lot of water, a lot of paint. And I'm going to do a sunset. And guys, I practiced this earlier and it absolutely turned out horrible. And this is why it's a good practice book, right? So what I'm going to do is I want to do the sunset and blend the colors if I can. I really want to start off by adding water to my horizon because I'm going to do the wet on wet so the colors blend a little bit better. And at the top, I used several different colors and they ended up not blending, not bleeding together the way I wanted them to. I really don't know what happened. And, maybe in 100 years, somebody will sell my art and think, wow, she was great. I doubt it. Hey, a girl can always hope, right? So what I'm doing is I got this water, the wet page. I've got the water and I'm just dropping in different shades of blue. And I'm going to let it blend to give it, the cloudy look. Not necessarily bad clouds, but some color. And I know I've got a lot of paint welling up here and there. I will take care of them. That is a big no-no. So how do I get rid of the water on the edges? I'm just going to take my mostly dry brush and touch the tip to those edges. And all that's happening here is since my book is not totally even, my water is going to run to the edges. Will this happen to you? Yes. If you're in a practice book and it's not totally flat, you betcha. That's your bottom dollar. Okay, so I got most of that off there. All right, now it looks kind of wispy and weird and kind of crazy. Now I'm going to take a good old paper towel. Actually, I had one out and I guess I used it. And I'm going to form some finger clouds, as you might call them. I'm just going to press down. And here's the reason we're doing the wet on wet with this, so I can remove some of the paint. And I'm not getting it all. No, we're going to leave some of those colors in there. Let it kind of run together. Still, I like it like that. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Getting the extra off there. Now, I need to dry this before I do any kind of water or any other scene that goes with this. Otherwise, my colors will blend together. All right, so the top part, my clouds are dry, my skyline is dry. I want to, in theory, make some rocks, boulders, cliffs, something. And you can see where I attempted that up here. Huge fail. One, they don't look realistic. Two, I used the wrong color, which doesn't help to make it any more realistic looking. But the whole thing's a wash. No, it's not a wash because lessons learned. I could do better, do different. So how am I going to make this a cliff looking thing? I'm just going to kind of run it off to the side here. Instead of doing two lumps here and here that look like big rocks that a child drew. Okay, I know I'm a little bit childlike. So what I'm going to do here to do this ocean look is I'm going to do a technique called the dry brush. So I've got my color, my pigment on my brush. It's not drippy or anything. And I'm going to take it and just run it across the paper like this. And you are going to leave wispy spots. I mean, the ocean itself has places where you see the waves and the wake, and you see the white in the water. You're going to see the white reflection off the sun or the moonlight quite often. So you're going to leave a little whiteness on your water. And when you do that dry brush, that because you're just kind of going across and leaving those open places. Okay. And if you notice, I did not leave them the exact same colors. Yes, they're both turquoise, but I put a darker color out further. So the further out from the water, from the shoreline, the darker the water is going to be or appear because it's there's more water. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, our rock formation. I could put a beach here, but I want to do mountainish rock, cliff, something like that. First, I have to dry my water. Let's do that. Alrighty, so my water is dry, and I'm thinking I've had a big failure up here. I just used one color. This is what I'm going to do. I grab my other palette, and I'm using my light gray color. And I'm not even sure what the color is. It's a Winsor & Newton gray. And what I'm going to do first, just kind of slap it on there, I guess. I'm just going to run it along here. Because, you know, rocks aren't one color. I have never seen a rock formation, a mountain, a cliff just be one color. Quite often you have the different types of rocks, different sediments that are in them, the moss that grows on them. So we're going to start with gray, and we're going to do this in layers. And really that's what works well with watercolor, is doing the layers. Okay, so with layers, you also have to, you guessed it, you have to let them dry. So I'm going to dry this one real quick. Okay, my first layer of gray is dry. Now I'm going to do like a bluish gray color, and I'm not going to touch every part of the gray. I probably will. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to get it a different, I don't know, different angles here and there, so it doesn't look like exactly what was there. Different ways. I don't know. That might work. We'll see how this goes. We're going to dry this layer. Alrighty, so my second layer, which was a watered down indigo, I think it was 2 parts water, 1 part paint. And I'm taking the indigo now and I'm adding it to Payne's Gray. I added 2 dips of the Payne's Gray. I don't know if that's important. Some people want to know the ratio there. So it actually looks more like, is that darker? A little bit darker. We probably want to add a little more of the dark. Because, you know, why add another layer if it's going to be exactly the same? Okay. A little bit darker, yes. I'm going to go for a little bit more, I think. Yeah, see, it blended. Now it all looks the same. I don't know. I think I'm going to add... Would this be a bad idea? I got a little bit of black to it. Yeah. No, that's way too dark. Too dark. Let's back up. And this is how watercolor really goes. There's no perfect science. And if anybody ever tells you there is, they are lying. There's so much trial and error. And, you know, when I first started watercoloring, I really thought, you know, you watch a few people and they're just so good and you try it and you just suck. And I thought, well, I'm giving up on this. Oh, look at that run everywhere. And, you know, what ends up happening is a lot of people just put away their watercolors and don't try again. And that's definitely not what I want you to do. Oh, there we go. I like those colors. Much better. Excuse me. So what I did here, this is just a really dark indigo blue with very little water, a whole lot of pigment, and Payne's gray together. And I'm going to go just make another pass with that, giving it that bumpy, rocky look. Okay. Maybe even a little bit farther out, extend it a little bit more. So we have all those grays in our color scheme. And that's really what watercolor is about. You have to have layers. You're going to run into problems. You're going to run into mistakes. Don't let that be where you put away your watercolors or give them to your niece because you think it's for children. Keep trying, keep practicing, because you'll go from this to something better. Hopefully this, if this one turns out. And hey, you know, there are times I sit down and I do this and I do this and I do this and it's just this horrible back and forth thing. And the big thing is don't give up. Don't get so frustrated that you don't want to keep doing it. Practice is 99% of it. Keep going. Keep experimenting. Keep trying. And you know what? It's your artwork. Love it the way it is. I'm going to dry this last piece here. Okay, so I dried this, and here's the thing. I don't like the looks of this at all. It almost looks like there was a volcano over here on the other page, and it just threw up lava everywhere. And I am not happy with the way that turned out. I like the way the sky looks. I love the ocean look. That looks good. This I'm not happy with. What can I do? Can I fix it? Yeah, maybe. Let's get some more of that Payne's gray and indigo together and see what we can do here. I just think it looks too rigid, maybe. Too fake. So if I get more of the cliffy look going and drop in more of that indigo along the edge, can also give ourselves that striated look. Striated? I don't even know if that's the right word there. I like it better, I think, coming all the way across there. Yes? No? Maybe? We might vote on this later. Let me dry this one. Okay, we're ready for the big reveal here. My tape is so warm from the blow dryer. Okay, so we have the first attempt earlier, total trash, and my second attempt, which not 100% happy with it, but guys, it's good practice, good brush control, good, you know, thinking it through as you're going, because you're not going to be perfect every time you do this, but the goal is to get better than what you were before. Okay. So let's vote on this. If you guys think, let's call this number 1 and number 2, and tell me what you think. And if you want to give this a try, you know, I recommend it. Don't let it frustrate you though. Just have fun doing the watercolor. Again, guys, if you like what we're doing over here at Olive Branch Studios, remember I'm Liz, and hit that like and subscribe button and watch for more stuff right here on YouTube and Facebook.